I have realized something that might be incredibly obvious to other people, but was not obvious to me. I've said this before, but I've never really been an ideas person. I think in systems really well. My brain likes learning like languages and like patterns. Once somebody else presents an idea, then my head starts getting flooded with images and I'm like, oh, it could be this and it could be this and this is how it could work. But I've never been one to have that initial seed. For a long time, it was the container of Rocket League. I had peers and people that inspired me and tutorials I could look up, and I was speaking my own voice, but I was speaking it in a container. And since I've left that world, I've been containerless. Part of this project was to explore what voice I actually have. But what I'm realizing is that without a container, there is no voice. If I think about it like learning a language, Spanish is already a language that exists, but it's a container for people to express themselves deeply and intimately. Just because two people speak Spanish doesn't mean they think the same things or speak the same things. They're using the same language to convey a billion different ideas with a billion different tones and personalities. I hope that makes sense. I keep saying like I can't make things that I like, or if I came across the stuff that I'm making, I might respect it, but I don't know if I would be a fan of it. But I'm not incapable of liking stuff. There's stuff in the world that I like. When I want to learn how to draw something, I'll draw something from reference, not just tracing it, but like try to like deeply understand the choices that the person made, like reverse engineering it. And then I'll redraw it again using my image that I've drawn from their reference as a reference, and then I'll do it again from memory. And then if I do it again like a few days later, it's usually like cemented in there, and then I can kind of use it in my vocabulary. And so what I've realized is I can train my fluency in the language of things that I like, and that becomes the container. I'm learning about myself through the inspiration of other people. Does that make sense? Basically, I mean, I'm gonna rip people off. I think it's important for newer artists to steal in the sense of copying other people or being inspired by other people. Not for me, the delineation is treating it like drawing from reference versus tracing an image. If you trace an image, you might end up with something that looks good, but you can't redo it. If you draw from reference and deeply understand the reference, you absorb it and you can then speak. That reference gives you vocabulary. And so I'm going to talk more about it tomorrow, but I think what that means is, yet again, another shift in format for all this stuff. I'm trying to find a balance of still staying true to what I set out to do in the first place, but figure out a way to give myself the space and flexibility for inspiration to actually manifest. Anyway, I hope that makes sense. What do you think? Do you disagree?